Hey wrestling fans, JC Styles, F&True Wrestling here again with our TNA weekly review and our TNA Hardcore Justice. I didn't like the pay-per-view. Brian?
Well, you know, I really thought that the pay-per-view was going to deliver a little bit more. I think it turned out to be an okay event. As JC is probably going to say, there's only 2 or 3 matches he really liked on the card.
Didn't like any of the shit that happened backstage.
I kind of think some of the best things that happened on this card was, you know, we got to see Just Incredible, which was pretty cool. He came out, you know, had a great match with Stevie Richards. Both these guys, you know, they're getting up there in age, but they're still in pretty decent shape. First things first, though, the beginning of the card, you had a couple of really low-card matches with, you know, superstars we remember from the original ECW, of course, but nothing that was real memorable. Then we jumped into, you know, the card started to improve midway. We had a great tag team match. We had a great match with Dreamer. And I think that there was a pretty decent main event, even though it was short. I think that's the current MO with TNA right now, is these short main events. And I don't know, Jay, what do you think?
Well, where to start? We had the BWO, which the original Blue Meanie was supposed to be there and no showed, so they had to come up with the alternative solution, which they grabbed an overweight guy from behind the scenes, dressed him up in the Blue Meanie gear, named him the Big Tilly or whatever they wanted to call him. You had the triple threat match, the Brother Runt, Rhino and Al Snow. The whole gimmick with "We Want Heads" been done so many times. I felt that was just being shoved down our throats once again. You had the Dudley Boys match was pretty good. I think the best part of the match was the flaming table, and then what happened after the match was over with the Gangstas. I think that the Tommy Dreamer Raven match was delivered, probably match of the night if anything. And then you had the main event, which I'm disappointed because halfway through last week, as we know, TNA's taped every other week, and we were kind of hoping all to see the Lynn versus RVD.
TNA is taped every week, every Monday.
We were hoping to see Lynn versus RVD one more time. It came up, like, I think early Friday morning, and it didn't get onto the net until about mid-Saturday, that Lynn suffered a back injury earlier in the week wrestling overseas and couldn't do the event, had to cancel his Friday and Saturday shows, and had to pull out at the last minute. I think Sabu was just thrown in there. I think he was just there to do a spot with Peter Polacco. I think they were actually going to do something with the Sandman, and at the last minute they had to, you know, fix it.
They kind of pushed him up into the main event.
Internet said it that the pay-per-view was horrible. I would say it was okay. I just didn't like it. It wasn't what me and Brian remembered of ECW.
Well, I mean, we really hyped up this event. This isn't really supposed to be a video response, but we probably will send this over to Spinnernet because we did respond to a couple of his other videos. He kind of felt like this event really wasn't going to be what everybody was hyping it up to be. And, you know, honestly, I kind of agree with you now, Spinnernet. You know, I gave it a chance. I hyped it up. I really thought it was going to be something that really put ECW's legacy over the top. And One Night Stand 05 really was kind of the closure. You know, not that we need the term quote-unquote closure, because
there's more closure for the wrestlers than the fans.
Exactly. But I think
Tommy Dreamer said it best when he said at the end of the show that that people said that they didn't have it anymore, but for guys that were well into their 40s and 50s, that was one hell of a effing show. I think he said it best, but the thing is, to us wrestling fans, it wasn't the best effing show. It really wasn't.
It was missing a lot. I mean, Joe, what do you think? The hardcore element was not there.
If they were going to do Hardcore Justice, they could have went to the Hammerstein Ballroom.
No. I'm just talking about the general content and the matches themselves. You had what? What was the most hardcore match we had of the night?
Probably the most hardcore moment was after the Balls Mahoney Team 3D match. After that match, I mean, that match was hardcore enough, but right after that match, you had the Gangstas came out, and that was okay for a little bit. That lasted like 2 or 3 minutes. That was probably the most hardcore part of the thing.
I mean, Raven
Dreamer kind of delivered okay, but the thing is, though, I mean, we used to see steel chairs, barbed wire bats, baseball bats, all the televisions, monitors.
I thought we were going to see
Hardcore wrestling from the 90s.
Exactly, a little more sheer brutality. And I think that's where the event failed to deliver. TNA, I think, was very generous in giving the ECW EV 2.0 Originals a whole 3-hour pay-per-view. I mean, this was a lot of revenue. I mean, this could have been Hard Justice, and this could have been, Motor City and Beer Money. Instead, we're going to see that on Impact. But a lot was invested in this, and I think the guys did what they could.
I think it probably could have been. I think it probably could have been a better match pay-per-view as if it was the EV 2.0 guys go against the TNA wrestlers. I think it probably would have been a little bit better.
More like an invasion theme.
Yes.
Even though the invasion theme has been done, and yes, you're going to say, have storylines been repeated in pro wrestling too much? We know this. But in this particular instance, it might have worked. You had all the build-up. The guys were sitting in the arenas. There was the chants. They ran into the ring and the attack. And then that all seemed to disappear the next weekend. Oh, thank you. We get to do our event. No more brutality. I mean, you got to pick one. You got to go either. It's not to bring politics into it, because politics and wrestling really don't combine, but similar concepts. You either go far right or far left. You're either going Republican or Democrat. You're not. I mean, yeah, there's some guys in the middle, but in this situation, they needed to go all the way, and they did not do that. And I think that's what let me and JC down. We expected to see sheer brutality. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I expected to spend $35 and see sheer brutality and see a style of fighting that has kind of been lost. And guess what? As far as I'm concerned, the style of fighting is still lost. I know
I'm probably going to get bashed for what I'm about to say, but I would rather have seen any one of the WWE's pay-per-views that they produced in the last year over again and over again and watch TNA Hardcore Justice over again. I'm sorry, I mean, me and Brian watched it, and then we were going to think about watching it again on Monday and yesterday and take notes, but I told him straight out, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it off the top of the head. I wanted things to get off my chest, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, the thing about it is, Joe, and I know you agree with this, if they were going to do it, they had to go all the way. And for some reason, they didn't. And you know what? We could keep continuing on. We could, basically we're in agreement.
What are our viewers? What are your thoughts on this pay-per-view? If you ordered it, or if you're gonna watch the encore tonight, this video is gonna be up forever. So, comment and let us know what you thought of the pay-per-view once you get to see it.
Exactly. And you know what? I think you'll really realize that this pay-per-view kind of dropped the ball, and it was a shame because we really anticipated more. As you see, JC's already stepped off set. He's kind of done for tonight. Brian Crazy, JC Styles, F and True Wrestling. Have a great night.